Hey guys, welcome back. It's Tommy with another Starcraft Remastered replay cast from the South Korean ladder. So once again we have a very interesting engagement here in between the two pro players, as we have spawning here in the upper right in the tier. It is Flash with his AK, with his barcode, and a opponent for him also from South Korea, South Korean pro. He's spawning here in the upper left as the yellow Protoss. It is DMNET. Apparently they're already talking here in South Korean. So yeah, it is once again a 4 spawning location map. We have of course the production tab here in the upper left part, and very soon we're going to be checking out the build orders, just like we do in the previous replays here onto this channel. We have the Protoss opening up here casually with his island. Of course a supply depot will also be started here by Flash, very next towards his command center, in order to give the Marines perhaps a possibility to out micro the early, if there's going to be an early harassment by the Protoss. And yet they're still talking about here perhaps about a score. I saw a 3-3, so perhaps they're talking about a previous game or a tournament, or who knows. And yeah, let's just check how the game is going to continue. We do have the gateway here, and also very early scout here by the Protoss. And could it be lucky for him to go out to the right part of the map? Indeed, it looks like a very lucky scout out here for the Protoss, as he's heading straight towards the main buildings here from Flash. There is his barracks, and we also have a very fast gas, so it looks like Flash deciding not to go for a fast expansion build order, going straight towards gas, and I believe his factory would follow up very soon, as also Flash is starting to move out here, already taking some damage out of the probe, react immediately, also dealing some damage to the probe, and the barracks is going to be finished very soon for him, as the move out by Flash is actually a little bit delayed here by this probe. So buying some time here, perhaps Flash will very likely continue with his expansion very soon. In the meantime, he's also starting to scout the map, as he's already taking some damage here off the probe. Let's just check the main from the Protoss. There's his cybernetic score. Gas has also started now to get mined, and yeah, the pretty standard build up here for him, as well as the SCV settled here for Flash is heading straight towards the wrong direction. But I believe with that he's going to know, of course, that after scouting the lower right part, he will know of course that the enemy is located into the upper left part, and I only know that this means GG right here. But other than that, sadly I don't understand what exactly they're talking about here early on. We do have the Zealot moving out very early, so the Marines will have to be microed here in between the buildings from Flash, as there we have the factory for him. So yeah, in comes the push by the Protoss with one probe, one Zealot. Another Marine has now started. We have 2 Marines here out. A couple of SCVs perhaps have to be pulled, as even this SCV might get snapped. So the Zealot already taking some damage. The SCV here as well. Good micro here by Flash. Same can be set here by the Protoss, as it's now 3 Marines. And with that, I believe perhaps the harassment will be shut down. 3 Marines, of course, against the herd Zealot will be very strong. However, we do have a second Zealot moving here out, so quite an aggressive early gameplay here by the Protoss, as he's very likely going to once again try to move forward. But we do have SCVs in the front tanking the damage. The Zealot is taking more and more damage, and finally it will be taken out. Second Zealot also takes some damage, and I believe with that Flash is very likely going to hold here, even placing up a bunker in the front, as there's a Dragoon moving here forward. But there's already 4 Marines with 1 Vulture in the back, and with that I believe Flash should of course be able to fend this off. The Dragoon taking more and more damage, and yeah, early aggressive move out here by the Protoss, but in the end Flash does hold here, and at the same time he's still scouting here the map. So sadly for him, completely into the wrong direction, as range will also be finished very soon here for the Protoss. So now finally both players will very likely go in towards their expansions. The expansion from Flash has already started. Now the Protoss also taking his expansion, as the SCV will be able to actually repair this Vulture, and the Vulture will start, actually Flash has started here to upgrade the mine ability for the Vultures. Important upgrade here to have in order to keep the Protoss at bay at home. And yeah, the SCV is also nicely retreating now at home, where Flash is very likely going to try perhaps to engage into a second factory. Let's just see what exactly his plans are. Is it going to be once again a timing push by him versus the Protoss? There's the SCV preparing another building, looking indeed like it's going to be his second factory. So we have passed the 5-minute mark. Still in one's game, of course. A very aggressive move out here by the Protoss, as he's now trying to intercept the moving vultures here forward and actually being successful here in sniping one vulture. A good snipe here by the Protoss, having a good spread with those Dragoons out, as now Flash is going to be planting some mines here to just keep the Protoss at bay. There are no observers yet here for the Protoss. Robotics facility will finish now very soon, as the second gateway is also started here for him, and speed has also started here for Flash. So yeah, pretty standard stuff here. Both players now focusing onto their upgrades. Let's just see if the Protoss will go indeed for an observatory, or perhaps actually it is a observatory, or perhaps for some reavers. Reavers could also be a possibility here for him. Yeah, let's see. I still don't see exactly where the robotics facility bay out. There it is, nicely hidden here next to the observatory, and we actually do have some more Dragoons getting produced here by him, more vultures here for Flash. And yeah, the Protoss pretty much kept here back at home, as he's slowly but steadily going to try perhaps to move here forward and soak up the mines in order to snap them. A very difficult movement here by the Protoss. Either that or he's going to wait for his first observer, so we're about to find out what exactly his plans are. Still vultures are moving out here for Flash, still planting more and more mines, gaining more and more map control, as speed has of course been done, and the Protoss will try to expand here, but there are already mines here, and even Flash is now moving forward with his vultures. Interesting enough, taking some time here to snap this one pro, perhaps too fast with his micro. And yeah, with that he knows of course that the Protoss is very likely going to try once again to expand onto a different location, and with that he might execute his known timing push. Is he going for more factories at home? He has defenses versus the Dark Templars and versus the incoming shuttles, if there would have been shuttles, but no such ideas here from the Protoss yet, as it's just Dragoons with observers here for him. And yeah, he's still nicely snapping those incoming probes. Very smart move here by Flash, delaying the expansion as much as he can. But in the end, of course, the Protoss signalizing to us that he wants indeed to take the other expansion point. There we have the siege tank ability. More siege tank are getting produced, more SCVs. We even have the armory here for Flash, as slowly but steadily we're closing towards the 8-minute mark. Some SCVs were on idle here, but Flash taking care of that. So a very good gameplay here by him. Let's see how the game is going to continue. Still some lone vultures are getting microed here onto the map, and we have lots and lots of tanks ready here for him, and still on only 2 factories. Interesting enough, finally now he's transitioning into more and more factories, so he did invest into more units here instead of the factories, as he now has so many tanks. 2 vultures, however, quite a small amount of vultures to have in order to protect the tanks in the front. And there we have the Protoss reaching out more and more. Flash tries to bypass this, tries to move forward in order to perhaps inflict damage towards the newly established bases here from the opponent. But there's also many defenses here, and even some Dragoons are getting now transferred towards the new base from the Protoss. The observer is here, but it's nicely getting fended off by this one turret. So Flash giving great importance towards his factories, hiding the factories from the observers, as it's soon going to be 6 factories here for him. So mass production will start very soon by him, as the Dragoons still roaming around here onto this position. So the question is Flash going to move out? Weapons 1 is halfway getting done for him. I believe he needs more and more vultures. He's even going for 2 Goliaths, but he needs those vultures in order to give protection towards the tanks in the back. So yeah, he is slowly but steadily moving out. The tanks, however, pretty much exposed here. An interesting move by him, placing some turrets here, so losing perhaps a little bit of time, as the Protoss seems to be able to regroup his Dragoons here into the middle of the map. Even a engineering bay is getting sent out. Perhaps the barracks will also be sent out here by Flash. So indeed, those 2 buildings will be important in case it's going to be a timing push, in order to soak up some damage out of the Dragoons. We have the Templar Archive here for the Protoss. We have the Stargate, so it looks like a arbiter gameplay here by him, as the Protoss tries to nicely bypass the move out mode here by Flash, and he perhaps going to try to surround him somehow. Speed, however, has only now started for the Zealots, and the observer gives now important information here towards the Protoss. So he's slowly but steadily moving here forward. It could be a great surround from the back. More and more vultures are getting produced. He needs much more vultures here. So Flash needs to protect those tanks there. He sees now the slow moving Zealots. One might give it even snap here. So the vultures, of course, very good versus those units. still the Protoss has those Dragoons in the back, so he's waiting for a good position. Let's see if this is going to be a successful move out here by Flash, as one Zealot will be very likely snapped very soon. And where exactly is Flash going to attack? There is the movement out here by the Protoss. Is Nasty going to intercept the reinforcements in the back? Some mines will have to be placed here by Flash defensively, as he has to retreat. So pretty bad position here by him, as he's getting now pretty much surrounded by the opponent. But I believe the siege is going to continue here for him forward. So the mines will give now cover towards the other units. 2 tanks in the back. Some tanks are following up here with some vultures. All of the factories here from Flash are producing units. So very good timing push indeed by him. Quite a scary Terran force here that is moving forward. And the Protoss, is he going to try to move here forward? He has vision, but the real action will of course happen here straight towards the main entrance point from the Protoss. There is the movement here forward. The Dragoons are nicely sniping the mines. They will of course be able to snipe the tanks, of course. And still lots and lots of Dragoons are being left here alive. Some splash damage is being taken, but is Flash going to be able to have enough here? The engineering base soaking up good amount of damage, and in comes the push here forward by the Protoss with his units. The Dragoons are pretty much straightforward here in the front. Lots and lots of Dragoons are in the back, still pretty much alive. The other Dragoons in the back have been sniped, and it looks like Flash seems to be having enough here, enough vulture to give cover towards the tanks. So the tanks of course in the back, the real damage dealer here versus the Protoss. As the siege continues here forward, the vultures are now in the front. Lots and lots of zealots will be able to take some damage. Some tanks are unsieging and re-sieging here. A great position here for Flash, as indeed this time the timing push from the Terran has been nicely executed. Even though the Protoss tried of course to intercept, tried of course to surround somehow the units, he had the economic advantage here, but Flash of course with his known timing push this time being successful. And yeah, very good game by him. The Protoss a little bit too greedy with his expansions, and in the end Flash being able to punish this. Let's just check the let's just check the stats very quickly. And yeah, lots and lots of vultures are of course needed here for Flash to protect those tanks in the back. And in the end, the mines getting some good connections in the back with the Protoss Dragoons in order to secure the line from the push from Flash here. And yeah, it's really important as a Terran to protect your tanks, to have vision with the turrets. And once again, a successful timing push here by Flash. I also have a failed timing push by him here onto this channel, as he was a little bit impatient, but this one very well executed. And yeah, in all, a good game. Also a good game here by the Protoss, perhaps a little bit too greedy. He tried a nice surround, but in the end Flash just had way too much. And yeah, with that, still a very good game by both players. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Tommy signing out.